on the new one. It's called action. It's one of the key components that you, as a business person, need to sit down and keep in mind in your head. You have to produce action. 3, 2, 1, the process. No one ever got rewarded for something they were thinking about or something they wrote down in a little book. Every journey begins with a single step. If you don't take the step, you don't begin a journey. So here's what a couple things. Action creates motivation. Leave the fence, stop being indecisive, and do something. We think about get motivated, then we act. But actually, it's the opposite. Act, then you're motivated to do more. But if you sit, it's one of these moments of, oh my gosh, I always want to do that. I have dreamed about doing that. If you don't do something, you'll continue to dream. Move, and then the rush of doing the work comes to you, and that adrenaline's enough to remind you why you do it, and it's important to dive straight in and tackle your to-do list. Action helps you stay in tune with the why. Sometimes people get so caught up in the details, they forget why they even entered into the business to begin with. The why will get you through all the challenges. When you go back and remind yourself, I sat there and want to make a difference. I want to sit down and have $1 million in the next 10 years in the bank account. I want to do this. Remind yourself as to why. Action keeps us in tune with our focus. And then really, we have voices on the inside of our head. And sometimes they're good cheerleaders. Rah, rah, go, you can do this. It's about self-talk. But a lot of times, those voices are negative, saying, oh my God, I can't believe I ever got into this. I just can't believe it. I'm not full, or I haven't met my sales quota. I'm not good enough to make this happen. If those voices hold you back while you're listening, there's thousands of entrepreneurs getting ahead of you by taking action and telling those voices, get in the back seat. Action silences the negative voice that will always come up because all of us are challenged by that. Action forces commitment. Just by writing down your goals changes them in your mindset. That's why we're doing journals so much in this class. I think they're crazy in the aspect, except for the fact that once you take that magic pencil, once you take the pen, once you take the keyboard and you write things down, all of a sudden now you're writing down a commitment. And on top of that, somebody else, some professors reading your journal, trying to read your mind, saying, oh, that's good, that's bad. No, it's really about you, because the truth of the matter of writing a journal, once you start writing things down, you're making a more solid commitment with what you want your future to be. This is what mindset is all about. Do you want to sit down and be one of those wannabes that sat by the wayside, says, oh, someday I want to do that. I have a dream of doing, okay, except for the fact, if you don't act, if you don't take this step of the 8 different ones, you'll always sit on the fence and you'll always be a dreamer instead of a doer. It may sound simple, but action forces you to commit. Once you start doing the action, you dive into it, you're committed more to yourself than just thinking about it or just putting it down into a journal. Action breaks barriers. Work through your barriers. I had to do a cringe when I wrote this initially. Sometimes your barriers are painstaking, but you have to get creative. You have to get strategic. Sometimes there's not enough money to do all the things that you want. So you have to be resourceful and get by with what you have. Work through the barriers, get the problem solved, sit down and remove the barriers to the place that you want to be. And sometimes it's money, sometimes it's hard work, sometimes it's doing work in a different way. Move past the barriers. Barriers will hold you back only for so long if you're determined to get through them. Action forces you to plan. You have to sit down and think about where you're going. For me, I write a list of items I want to get accomplished for the week and then do them. I have a checklist for every single day that pertains to the business, and I really focus in on getting them done. So action, many people had an idea, a thought, a past moment of inspiration, and failed to act upon it. There are those that think and those that do. Tell me, which are you? Take care.